This morning we have a 1330 series OE Dodge shaft from my customer Derek. It's for one of his customers' Dodge trucks. I'm thinking this is like in mid 2000s or early 2000s because it's 1330 series there, and that's what they ran back then in the CV head. The ask was, it had started making a rumbling noise. Could I look at it? And it was obvious that one cap on the U-joint in that position had come apart, and the other one was started. They were both pretty well on their way. This one wasn't really that bad, but this one was chewed out through the side of the cap partially. So, boot kit, ball kit, like I always do. Pair of new 1330 Spicer snap tights in this situation. Down here, this is an interesting build the way they did this. It's that end Spicer, this end Saginaw or AAM. And so that joint at that end, two things about it. It actually felt very good, but this was what was hiding inside. You can see that cap there, even though it felt good, it was starting to brunel, and brunelling is those lines is where the needles are been stationary. They really are not rolling anymore, and they're starting to etch the trunnions. And you can see that's what the lines are all about. And that's called brunelling. Yeah. So the old wives' tale. Oh, they all feel good. Yeah. Well, that can be what's hiding inside, and that they don't recover from that. Then they start to get crunchy next. So. Change them all, which is what I usually do anyway. There is a grease fitting in the slip yoke now that it didn't have. That's standard for me. And the reason is it had some lubrication in it, but it was just a whiff of it. You know, I mean, it never had any lubrication put back in there since this truck was built. And these things are good quality components with a little bit of lubrication and maintenance that will last a long time. It already has lasted quite a while. So you don't have to put a tube of grease in there. I packed it with enough red grease probably for the rest of its life, but put a little in, like 1 or 2 shots once a year. This is tuned up real well. The way they did these slip yokes, they're heavy, and they've got the oddball faced splined flange yoke that engages the yoke on the front axle, and that's what I have for balance fixture right there. And yeah, they run. I mean, it's good and straight, but they're irregular. I've got this one tuned up. This is almost perfect. We're not going to geek out too much, but this is almost perfect force and balance. That means both ends are rising and falling together instead of the rocking horse thing, where that's coupling balance when one is going up and one is going down. This is really, really blatantly force and balance, because if you touch it down here, it affects the whole damn thing, and that's what that really amounts to. 0 at the front axle, that's cruising. That's about 2,900 RPM. 0 at the transfer case. So you can see I sandblast that all up. That's all standard for me. Going in the paint booth right now. I'll get some primer on this, get some paint on this, and then Derek's customer can have his drive shaft back.